So, as a general matter, I don't think there's any problem with regulators saying we need to evaluate the risk of banks and make sure there's appropriate capital for the risk. I do have a concern when we're weighting things that are comparably risky in different ways. And I've been pretty consistent on this, specifically with respect to the tax equity provisions. That the rules say that if you're using tax equity for new market housing, it has one level of risk profile. If you're using it for energy investing, it has 4 times the risk. So essentially, banks would have to increase their capital holding by 4 times. So, Mr. Baer, just because I see you nodding your head, you want to just give us a quick understanding of why banks use tax equity and how that's used to deploy energy projects?
Yeah. Actually, I would commend to anybody. Matt Levine, who's a journalist, wrote a terrific explanation of the whole bank financing of energy tax credits. And it's sort of interesting, sort of legally, how it works. And in effect, it's a loan, but it qualifies for equity tax credits. But there's no question that it's a helpful thing. But what it really gets down to, as sort of as an example of the proposal as a whole, what's the loss experience? The proposal includes no data on the loss experience for that business.
And I want to, and I don't want to avoid speculating, but I just wanted, the comment that this is loan-like, I think, is the material part. Because if I'm buying your depreciation, if I'm buying your interest payments on debt, if I'm buying your investment tax credit, I'm buying something that's a known commodity that's it's a fixed coupon, right?
Yes.
Effectively, and it looks like a loan. So we're getting agreement on that. Earlier this week, the Bank of New York Mellon's CFO said that if the rule were to go ahead, it will severely reduce or even eliminate the capacity of banks to invest in renewable energy projects. Are you hearing that from other members of yours as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually some of our banks have commented to that effect. I mean, quadrupling the price of anything is going to affect the supply, and I don't think these are terrifically profitable.